Yeah, it's recording now. So manual testing and automation testing. So in automation testing, or automation testing is nothing but testing done with the help of a tool. It's called as automation testing. But how a tool will test the application, right? Nothing but we have to create a test script, or we have to provide the set of instructions to the tool to test the application. These set of instructions are called as test scripts, right? How do we create this test scripts in the sense? So as you know, generally to test an application, first we'll go through the requirements of the application. According to the requirements, we'll prepare the test scenarios. According to the test scenarios, then we'll prepare the test cases. So in manual testing, we are going to execute those test cases in order to test whether the requirement has been fulfilled or not. But in automation testing, what we are going to do here is we are going to automate these test cases. In the sense, by looking at the test case, I'm going to create a test script. Let's say you have a test case to test the functionality of login page with valid inputs. This is what one of my scenario. So to test this scenario, I assume that there is a test case wherein which it has got the steps like step 1, open the browser, step 2, enter the URL, step 3, enter the username, step 4, enter the password, step 5, click on OK. So this is what your manual test case. So what I'm going to do in automation is what? I'm going to convert these, or I'm going to automate this test case. How I'm going to automate in the sense, by looking at the steps, I'm going to write a test script. I'm going to write the instructions using the scripting language called as VB. The scripting language used in QTP is what? VB. So here we have to define those instructions in the VB scripting, so that the tool will understand those instructions. It executes those instructions to do the same actions on the application. Right? Now when the tool executes the instructions, so the tool itself opens the browser, it itself enters the user and enters the URL, it executes the URL, it itself enters the username, password, clicks on OK. So whatever the actions which is done by the tester in manual testing, the same actions will be done by the tool in automation testing. Right? So this is what the process. Now if you see the differences, here the process is done by the tester. In automation, the process is done by the tool. If you compare the speed of a tester with the speed of a tool, obviously the speed of the tool will be more, in the sense it takes very less time to run those actions on the application compared to a test engineer, right? So automation testing is more efficient rather than manual testing. Then second point is what? Accuracy. Now once the test script is ready, the tool runs the same. If we ask the tool to execute the test script for 10 times, it runs the same instructions for 10 times without any errors or without any mistakes. But when you come to the manual testing, if you instruct or if you ask the tester to use the same steps to test the application for 10 number of times, we cannot expect the same accuracy, or because the mindset of a tester will not be the same always. So there is a chance of doing the mistake by a tester. Obviously we are the human beings, right? There is a chance of doing the mistakes. Of course, knowingly or unknowingly we'll do some mistakes. Now if you compare the accuracy between the manual testing and automation testing, the output or the results given by the automation tool will be more accurate compared to the manual testing. But make sure that your script is correct according to the requirements of the application. Once it is correct, the results, we can depend on the results given by the automation testing, because it will not do any mistakes while running the instructions. But in case of an manual testing, we cannot totally depend on the output given by the tester, because once again we have to retest and we have to analyze whether is it a defect or not. So accuracy will be more in automation testing rather than manual testing. So when there is more accurate in automation testing, then it is more reliable. So there is more reliability will be more in automation rather than manual testing. Coming to the cost, right? So in manual testing, all the applications will be tested by the test engineers by executing the test cases. But here in automation testing, tester will run the test script using the tool, or in a tool the tester is going to run the test script. So here the tester is taking the help of a tool to test the application. So the organization has to spend the cost in purchasing the tool, right? So automation testing is cost effective compared to the manual testing. So these are the some of the differences between manual testing and automation testing. Now let us move on to this QTP. So is this okay, or do you have any queries so far?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, Asad?
Okay.
Yeah. QTP? Nothing but quick test professional?
One question before we start as well.
Yeah.
Do we need to know VB scripts to a competent level, or
Right.
because we have not used VB scripts before?
Right. Right. Here I'm going to teach you even the VB scripting.
Okay, that's
But the
great.
thing is, to learn with VB scripting, you should have the basic knowledge of C language. Like
Mm-hmm.
how do we use the if condition, how do we use the loops, right? Generally, how do we write a program according to the requirement? So if you know the
Okay.
basics of C, then easily you can learn the VB scripting.
Okay. So what if we don't know the languages of
C
C?
language.
But we know well, we work with SQLs
Okay,
in
good.
databases.
Okay, good. So that is like, as you are aware of SQL, so when it comes to the like testing the application, like testing the database by using the VB scripting, then it will help you out. But apart
Okay.
from
Right.
SQL, like if you have the basics of C, like how do we do this switch case, if condition, for loop, while loop, right? Function, procedure. Do you have the basics of these things?
I've never used it, but
Okay, long back you.
I mean we are fast learners, but I mean if you can help us along those, it would be
Okay,
appreciated.
but you used it long back, right?
Um, I don't remember using it.
Okay, I mean not currently, but did you ever get the chance to look that program, like how a program will be written using the conditions or the loops or something like that?
I have a brief idea of like a header, body, and but I've never used it. No,
Okay,
if I'm being honest.
if you have the brief idea, that's okay. You can learn with VB scripting. See, to learn with VB
Okay.
scripting, like if a person is from non-IT, and if I start teaching him or her the VB scripting, it looks very new to them, because they were not exposed to the conditions or the loops or writing a program before. So it takes for them to learn VB scripting. It takes time for them to learn VB scripting. Of course, they can learn, but it takes time for them to learn. But as you are aware, like the brief of those languages, so I think it doesn't take more time for you to learn VB scripting. But the thing is, you have to practice more.
Okay. Would you like do a sessions? You have to practice and then you test like
See,
thing, or
regularly, like what are the sessions that we are going to do regularly? We are going to record those sessions. So these recorded
Mhm.
sessions will be given to you. So you can go through these recording
Yeah.
sessions and you can practice. And moreover, apart from these, I'm going to give you the assignments. So you can use the same concepts which we did in the regular session to do those assignments. So that's how you can
Hmm.
practice QTP.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So Q2P, Quick Test Professional. So it's in functional and regressional tool. So this is the tool which is used to test the functionality of the application. Right? Now, as you know, when we run the test cases, right, during the test execution, we do both retesting and regression testing. But basically, we'll be using this tool QTP to do the regression testing. So what do you mean by regression testing? Regression testing is done to ensure that the changes done by the developer do not affect the functionality of the application. So during the regression testing, once again, we are going to run all the test cases. So it takes more time. So to avoid that, or to reduce the speed of your or to reduce the time of your test execution, we do use QTP for doing the regression testing. So that's the reason it is called as regressional tool. So this is a tool which is used to test the functionality of the application. Functionality is what? Testing the behavior of the application. Like testing the application with valid scenarios and with the invalid scenarios, or how does my application behave if I provide with valid inputs, or if I provide invalid inputs, how does my application will behave. So this is the tool which is used to do the functionality and regression testing. It's a product of, so basically before QTP was a product of Mercury Interactive. This QTP, Load Runner, then Test Director, all these tools were the products of Mercury Interactive. But now this Mercury Interactive has been undertaken by HP. So we are calling like HP QTP, HP QC, and HP Load Runner. But before, like 3-4 years back, we used to call like Mercury Interactive QTP, Mercury Interactive Load Runner, something like that. But nowadays we are calling like HP QTP, HP QC. So it's a product of HP. So here we are going to learn the version 10. Version 10 we are going to do it. The latest version is what? 11. But we have still 11.5 version. I think it has not been released into the market yet. So the latest version is what? 11. So at the end of the course, I'm going to teach you the differences between the version 10, the version 11 and the version 11.5. Then the scripting used. Scripting used is VB scripting. VB script. As I said like here we have to create a test script, or we have to generate a test script in order to make the tool to run the application. So now in QTP, this test script will be created using the scripting language called as VB script. And it is used to test the functionality for both web-based applications and Windows-based applications. So used to test for both web-based and Windows-based applications. So what is the difference between a web-based and Windows-based? Prakash, what's the difference between web-based and Windows-based? Or what are web-based applications and what are Windows-based applications?
Yeah, web-based you can say as an e-commerce project. Windows web-based is taken as a desktop applications.
Good. So any online applications, can you please mute? Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. So any online applications or any applications which we run using a browser is called as a web-based application, or the standalone applications or the desktop applications, or applications which are opened by running a exe file are called as Windows-based applications. Now this tool QTP can be used to test the functionality for both web-based applications as well as for Windows-based applications. Now let's move on to this tool QTP. Right, we'll see what are the advantages of QTP. So generally to open QTP, right, so when you install QTP, you can find this icon. So double click on this icon in order to open QTP. So when you click on that QTP, initially you'll get a window called as add-in manager window, wherein which by default you'll have three add-ins: ActiveX, VB, and then Web. So as I said this is the tool which is used to test the functionality for both web-based and Windows-based applications. You have got three add-ins, one for web and one for testing the VB and ActiveX controls. Now if your requirement is to test the web-based applications, just here you have to check the add-in web. And if your requirement is to test the functionality for Visual Basic applications, then you have to select the add-in checkbox VB. And if your requirement is to test the functionality for ActiveX controls, then you have to check this checkbox. So depending on the requirement, select the checkboxes and click on OK. So here I'm just selecting all the three checkboxes so that we can test the functionality for both web-based as well as
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So would desktop or Windows-based applications, would that be under ActiveX, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Under ActiveX. So depending on the requirement, select the checkboxes and then just click on OK. So when you click on OK, you'll get this window, HP QTP version 10. It is also called as Advanced Keyword Driven Testing. So we'll discuss what is this Advanced Keyword Driven Testing when we are doing with the frameworks of QTP. Right. Now this is the window of QTP. Here you have start page, right? These are all the features available in QTP. Right. Now first let us see how do we create a test script, or how do we make use of a tool to test an application. Now for that, just you have to create a new test, select the test here, or go with File, New, and then Test. Or directly you can click New and then Test here. Now when you click on that new test, here you can see this window. This is called as an test script window, in which you have two views here, keyword view and then expert view. So we'll discuss what is keyword view and what is expert view later on. Apart from this test script window, here you also have the features like data table, right? Data table, it almost looks like an Excel sheet. Then apart from this data table, we also have a feature called as an active screen. Now this is the basic format or the template of your QTP, the script window, then data table, and then active screen. So in this area the script gets generated. Now let us see how the script gets generated. Now basically in any tool, not only with QTP, if you go with Rational Robo or Seltest or any other tool, every tool has got an option called as in recording. Nothing but in every tool the test script can be created in two ways. So test script generation will be done in two ways. One is by using the recording modes, and one is writing the scripting manually. Generating the scripting manually. So this is how we can create a test script using two ways. Now if you go with recording modes, let's say a tester do not have the knowledge on VB scripting. So when the tester do not have the knowledge on VB scripting, then he cannot create a test script. But tool allows the tester to create a test script even though if a tester is not aware of VB scripting. How in the sense? Now this tool has got a concept called as recording. Right. So what is this recording in the sense? So whenever you are testing the application for the first time, what you have to do is just click on the record button in the QTP, then start testing the application. Like if you want to test the login page of Gmail, then click on record, then manually open the browser. Now this action will be recorded by my tool. Then enter the URL in the browser. Now this second action will be recorded by my tool. Then enter the username. Now this action will be recorded by the tool. Enter the password. Then this action will be recorded by the tool. Then click on OK. Again this action will be recorded by the tool. So whatever the actions that you do manually on the application during the recording, all these actions will be recorded by the tool. After recording, what it does in the sense, it itself converts those recorded actions into a set of instructions in VB scripting. So the tool itself will create a test script based on the actions that you do during recording. So how in the sense, the tool will record all your actions and it converts those recorded actions into the set of instructions. So your test script is now ready. Even though if you do not have the knowledge on VB scripting, still you are able to create a test script. Now let us see that what is a test script and how can we generate it. Right, so this is what the record. Now I'm going to click on this record. So as we have selected two add-ins, web and then VB, so here you are getting the record and run settings with two things, web and Windows. Now first let us discuss Windows, then we'll move on to the web-based. Now when you select Windows, here you got two radio buttons, record and run test on any open Windows-based application or record and run only on. If you select the first radio button, manually we have to browse the application during recording, so that part will also be recorded by my tool. But if you select the second option and if you set the path, because as you have selected the Windows, if you select the second option, if you set the path of the TXT file, the tool itself will launch the application during recording. Now let us do with the first option. If you select our first option, manually we have to browse the application. Now how do we browse in the sense? So generally when you install QTP, there are some sample applications which gets installed by default. Now these sample applications are the flight reservation applications. So we have web-based of flight reservation applications and we have Windows-based of flight reservation applications. So we are going to make use of these flight reservation application in order to test with the help of QTP. Now first let us see the Windows-based application of flight reservation. See here I'm going to browse it. So select start menu and then select flight. Right. Now here this is the application which has got a button, OK button, cancel button, help button, and a label called as agent name, and a text field, a label called as password, a text field, and an image. Now here I'm going to enter the value in the agent name field, let's say as admin. Now this is the action which I'm doing it during the recording. Now this action will be recorded by my tool and it converts this action into the instruction now. Now see here, you can see a statement here. Now I'm going to enter the password here. Now again this action will be recorded by my tool and it converts this recorded action into the instruction. Now click on OK. So we'll get the next window. Now let us close this window. For time being, let us close, then stop with the record. Now see here, the instructions are generated here. Now this set of instructions is called as test script. Now this test script is now ready. Now the test script will be generated in the form of instructions in expert view and in the form of a table in the keyword view. So we'll see how this table is getting generated, and we'll also see how these instructions are getting generated in Expert View. Along with this Expert View and Keyword View, as I said, we have Active Screen and Data Table. So Active Screen is used to view the snapshots of the recorded actions. Now when I place a cursor here, I can see the snapshot of this action over here. And if I place a cursor on the third statement, I can see the snapshot of that in the active screen. If I place a cursor on fourth statement, I can see that snapshot. So this is how you can view the snapshots of the actions in the active screen. Now we have data table, right? Data table, it almost looks like an Excel sheet. So as of now, just remember that this data table is used to do the parameterization. So parameterization is what? Running the script with multiple values. We'll see that later on. Now in the Expert View, the script gets generated in the form of instructions, and in Keyword View, the script gets generated in the form of a table. It almost looks like a test case, right? The object, operation, the value, and the documentation. A brief description about the action done on the object in the application. So we'll see tomorrow how this table is getting generated and how these instructions are getting generated. So any queries as of now? Prakash or Asad? What's your name? I forgot. Asad, right?
Asad.
Yeah, Asad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Asad and Prakash. So whatever we have discussed so far, do you have any queries on that? Because let's wind up the session now.
Not really this section, but maybe from next class onwards we are going to go a little bit detailed. Then we can get some queries.
Okay. This is just the demo session. I've just given you the idea on QTP. So from tomorrow we'll see how the script is getting generated, on what basis the script is getting generated, and all we'll see from tomorrow.
Are we going to test all three then? The web-based, the desktop-based, and the VB.
Right. We are going to test the.
So we're going to do that. We're going to do the ActiveX, web, and the VB, right?
Right.
Tomorrow, do you have class? Do you want class tomorrow, Prakash and Asad?
Tomorrow, Sunday. I wouldn't mind tomorrow.
What about you, Asad?
Monday I'm a bit busy.
I don't mind because of we. Oh, Asad, please don't say that.
Yeah.
So
I mean.
No, we can't miss the class, man.
No, we're not going to miss it. I'm pretty sure that we can reschedule it, right?
No, we can't. We don't want to waste the time. We got please. Yeah,
no,
we can.
listen. Monday I got an important meeting. That's why I said it.
You please decide whether you want a class tomorrow or not.
No, tomorrow is fine.
Tomorrow is fine.
Tomorrow is fine. Okay, fine. Then we'll catch you tomorrow at the same time, 6:30 our time. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So a very quick one. When we gonna get the QTP installation?
I'll ask the person tomorrow. Okay. I'll mail you his contact details. You can contact him. You can give your TeamViewer or Skype details. He will take remote access and he will install the software. Okay.
And this will be done tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow. I'll mail him. I'll mail you his contact details. You can call him directly. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the documentations, like you said, we're going to carry out certain tasks to do. Is that going to start tomorrow?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah. I said.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, from tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. And when can we receive the documentation for QTP? Right.
Tomorrow, within 1 hour, I'll give you the course content. That's it. I have already given it to Prakash. Maybe I forgot to give you. I'll give you in another 1 hour.
No, it's not the 2 to 3 pages one, is it? The summary one.
No, I'm talking about course content, the contents which we are going to cover in the training.
Yeah, I mean,
Apart-
have you got a booklet? Have you got a
Yeah.
booklet on that? That's what I meant.
Yeah, even we have booklet. I'll forward you the booklet also. Okay?
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay then, yeah. Bye both of you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you for the session today. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Prakash. Thanks, Asad. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for attending the demo.
Shanya, you don't end the session. Click on the file and say exit.
I'll leave
Leave
the meeting. Yeah,
meeting.
exit, leave.
One more thing, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get
Sorry, before you leave,
Yeah.
is it possible you can send us the recording, or will you send it all together?
Oh, okay. I'll send it by tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Sarisha. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.